So hello guys, here is the second video I promised y'all that I'm going to be posting on how to manage a long distance relationship. Ah, yes, so I want to really first of all, this video is an exclusive, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to make sure that everybody gets um value for your time for sure. Um I beg y'all to watch this video to the end. There will be a lot of information about a couple of things along the line, and I want y'all to leave your comments below. Whatever you think you need, whatever you think you learn from it, from whatever you think is just leave. No. I don't want to see some bad comment like, hey, listen, no, it's just an opinion. You get me? It's just a view, and I hope that I'm able to reach or touch as many people as possible. So let's get straight into it. If you notice me so far, most of my videos now I don't try to put intro or adverts and stuff like that because I don't. It's cool, but I just want to get straight to the business. But later on, we be having a little cool changes here and there. But for now, just stay with me. I want to have y'all as my family. So when things get stabilized, when I'm trying to y'all will remember where we started from. Using you know, just some materials here and there to make sure we put a video together across. So the fact that a lot of people subscribe to my channel today, if you watch my videos, you will see me saying 4 subscribers, 3 subscribers, but now I don't even call that anymore because I have a lot of people and I'm like, wow, this can only be possible because of y'all. You feel me? I thank you guys a lot. So let's get straight into what we need to do today. And boom, let's get in straight into how to manage a long distance relationship. Now, I want to start by, I didn't write nothing down. I'm just going to speak up the top of my head. Um, a lot of time people be like, oh, long distance relationships are too hard. I get that. Or some people be like, long distance relationship ain't it. I get that. Some people like, I don't think I'm capable of doing long distance relationship. I get that. And some people be like, that's just a child's play. There's nothing like that. I also still get that. Let's now address the issue one after the other. But before I go into it, let's take a little deep dive into something else. I would like to let y'all know that both long distance and close proximity relationships, none is bad and none is worse. What are you talking about, David? Okay, let's get straight into it. You think close proximity or close distance or whatever you want to call it, the relationship is better? How? Because you prefer that. Because you think it's possible to manage that. Everything's all up here. Long distance relationship you think is not good enough. Do you know why? Because of what you have up here as well. You think you cannot manage it. You feel like a lot of people inside in the long distance relationship are just a bunch of liars up there. So everything happened upstairs. So the relationship, how close or how far it is not the problem. It is the mindset that you have that is affecting you. You feel me? Now, I want to let you know that both close and long distance relationship have their ups and downs. Okay, for long distance relationship, you might not get to see your partner as much as you want to, which is where I want to focus on. I really want to show you the difference, but it's a lot of information. I don't think I can make all of that in one video. Okay, so in long distance relationship, you feel like you don't get to see your partner as often as you would have wanted to. I get that. Or some of you feel like, oh, your partner probably is just there cheating on you. That's it. I want to tell you that that's the number one reason a lot of people don't like long distance relationship. Number one reason is that they feel like the people involved are cheating on each other and just lying. You feel me? That's number one. That's the number one. Then all other ones are just part of the part of the problem. But that is the major problem. The fact that you can't tell, or if or you believe that the next person is cheating on you, no matter what they say, you feel like the person is cheating on you for sure. That is why most of you think it cannot work. And the other problems also follow, like you not being somebody who respects your partner. You feel me? Probably you were doing the wrong things here. And because of that, you have that thought that the person too is also doing the same over there. And inability to get hold of your emotions is also a reason why people think long distance relationship is not easy to manage. It's a lot of things I want to. Here's a lot of problems. If I want to sit here and start counting one after the other, like my video's gonna be like 2 hours long. But I hope I'm able to touch on some. Listen, some people say read books, you'll be able to know how to manage relationships better. I don't think so. I don't think books really help you to manage relationship better. You know why? Every relationship is different. Just because you hear, some of you just heard that for the first time. The same way every marriage is different, that's the same way every relationship is different. For example, how would you want to read the book, my own book, and use my own book to treat your spouse? It will not work. The chances of that even working is like 3%. That's what all the books are. So make sure that you always call on your spouse, check up on them, make sure you're asking them, how are you doing today? Some people don't like receiving calls a lot. Do you know that? You go try that, trying to be the sweet, lovey-dovey relationship keeper, and you're going to lose that man, or you're going to lose that girl, or you're going to lose that wife of yours, or you're going to lose that man, that husband of yours, I mean. You must know what works for your partner. That's what I can tell you for now. That's the first thing. So, long distance relationship, generally, they're not hard if you know what you're doing. If y'all come together and, have a mutual understanding on how y'all want to move the relationship, it's actually really, really sweet. Long distance relationship makes your heart grow fonder. I don't know if that's true anyways, but let's say, how is it, how David, please elaborate. There's too many information I want to share, but I don't know how to take it one after the other for y'all. Okay, let's take it like this. Long distance relationship, we don't get to see the person as much as you want to, but then y'all will always communicate either through social media or through calls. That means for a long distance relationship to work, the one of the biggest thing you need is communication. Once y'all can communicate frequently, it'll stay. That's the backbone of sustaining the long distance relationship. You might think, oh, but well, see, that's a lot of work. If it was a short distance relationship, I wouldn't have to do that. It's a lie. The same thing goes to a close distance relationship. Communication. In fact, you get away with a lot of things. Not like bad things. I'm not saying go do bad things. But when you cannot communicate to your partner who's far away, you can just let them know, like, hey, babes, look, I'm going to be really busy today. This is easy. See that? And you can go do some important things without being without overthinking too much. So because your partner already understand that, yo, my man or my girl already told me she was gonna be busy or he was gonna be busy today. I'm gonna just let him do his thing. And later he's gonna call me back. He said we're gonna come by 10 p.m. They're gonna wait for you. Or you're gonna wait. You see what I'm saying? Whoever is involved, they're gonna, understand each other. But if it's a close distance relationship, you can't do that. Especially if somebody who's living next door to you. Every move you make, they're somebody's monitoring you. You feel me? Not that you're gonna do something bad, but you cannot have your space. Like that space you need to sleep, clear your head about things. You cannot have it in a close distance relationship. I'm not telling you close distance relationship is bad. I can also tell you the good part of it. But I'm just trying to clear that myth that, oh, long distance relationship ain't for me, or I need to read a lot of books before I be able to be successful in keeping long distance relationship, or a lot of stupid shit like that. I don't care about that. Now I'm gonna share a personal story. For me, I never knew how to keep a long distance relationship. In fact, I told my wife today, like, look, I don't know how God did it, but prior to when I met you, it was only one long. I've tried, it never worked. After 2 weeks, I'm always like tired. I don't. Then, but with my wife today, we spoke and talked on the phone for more than 1 year before I finally got to see her. But out of 365 days in that year or in a year, if we didn't talk at all for the whole year, probably be like 5 days. I'm just trying to say 5 days. That's out of 365 days, we probably didn't talk to each other at all for, let's say, 5 days. It's less than that. But I don't want to give myself that, I never knew I could actually remember, because the ones I've tried, I used to forget that it's not like it didn't work. I used to forget that I have somebody on the other side. You feel me? You cannot imagine how bad and terrible that would be. And then by the time I remember, the person must have sent me 3, 4, 5 messages that I did not respond. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. So I would say, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. And I got tired of saying I'm so sorry, because it was always 90% of the time, it was always my fault. Because I kept forgetting. But when I met my wife to be at the time, I noticed that I always remember to call her and things like that. Then one day I sat back and I said, "Why? Why is this one working out?" Although then I didn't know it was still gonna work out, but it was a lot better. I've spent more than the 2 3 weeks maximum time that I've that my long distance relationship had broken. I spent more than that with her, and instead of getting like something's about to die, it was getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Then I asked myself, why is this one different? Then I discovered that it is the person involved. You heard that word, right? It's the person what involved. When we first started, I called her like once or twice. I knew in my mind that all those things I'm doing is just 2 weeks. So in my head, I said, 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, everything is gonna what fizzle out. I already because I've tried it once, twice, 3 times, it didn't work. So in my mind, I know that 3 weeks. Let me just give myself maximum 1 month. Let me just see how it's gonna go. I found myself 6 months, 7 months. But one thing I discovered, it was a two-way thingy. When I called her, she calls me. Even when I forget, she calls me. She didn't know I used to forget. Till today, I'm not sure she knew. Sometimes I used to forget, like I promised that I was gonna call her at a certain time. She will call. Hey David, what's up? He said we're gonna call me. Da, 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 da. I said, oh, I'm sorry. Like this. Like, oh, how was your day today, David? This thing that came up. She was always happy, and she was talking a lot, and I enjoyed listening. I just listened to her, and because she'll make me laugh still in that same thing, and she'll tell me a lot of stories that are so funny, and she'll tell me a lot of things too, and then we'll sit down and talk. She was creating the environment for us to be able to what grow the relationship. So two things I've said now. First, communication is key. Secondly, creating that environment for each partner to be what? Comfortable to share anything, not just some things, but anything. Come to find out, after we create, she was able to create that. I'll give that to her, but without her knowing, she created that environment. I started to discover that I could also talk. Now, I talk with my friends at work. You know what I'm saying? When I'm talking about, especially when I'm discussing about my club, talking about, oh, my football team or this and that, you will see me talking and da 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 da. Apart from that, the only time again I will also talk is when you talk about something positive that is going to transform our lives generally. Like if you're talking about ideas on, new job or trying something new or school or you know and sharing life experiences, I'll be there for sure. I'll be there for sure to listen or to also contribute. I love topics like that. Um, then I start to discover something now that this lady, apart from creating that environment, I discovered that I could talk. Apart from me discovering that I could talk, I discovered something else. She was somebody with a sense of purpose. That's the third thing. You see what all these things I'm telling you now. I'm not sure books are gonna give like that. They're gonna be telling you other things. She had a sense of purpose. What do I mean? I discovered that most of the people I tried those long distance relationship with, they didn't know where they were going. And because they didn't know where they were going, even when I'm trying to bring up something good that we could discuss, they always don't find it interesting. Now, what do I mean by that? Um, Most of them prefer when we're talking about I don't want to use this word. Um, Intimacy. You know what I'm talking about? Like being intimate. When we're talking about that, we could talk for 5 hours. Okay, let's switch it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to talk about that every day. I don't want to talk about, look at how you are. I don't talk about physical appearance every day. That was not me. I didn't know why it didn't work. So I discovered that it was because most of them only enjoy those kind of topics. But when it comes to, how do we move from point A to point B? What do we the conversation is just 2 3 minutes. They don't you still feel me? So I discovered that it was because they weren't I wasn't feeding off. I wasn't feeding off the positive energy on how or where we were taking the relationship to. You feel me? So it was more like we were interested in the pleasure of the relationship, or they were interested in the pleasure of the relationship. But because me, I was not only there for the pleasure of a relationship. Either we become um husband and wife in future. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about improving our lives as individuals, so we can meet at a certain point if God wills. But if that doesn't happen, at least if we end up leaving tomorrow, I could beat my chest that, I learned something good. I learned something good from that lady, and she too can also be like, I learned something good from that guy. Has always been what I was about, but I didn't know. So that was why the relationship had short life, but she created that as well, bringing sense of purpose to the relationship. So now we're not talking about just pleasure. We're also talking about way forward. We're also sharing our experiences. We're also sharing our ideas. You feel me? So all of that start to bring out a different part of me and a different part of her. Now, come to find out, she as well had never tried to get a long distance relationship before, and she told me categorically that she didn't know how it worked because she never liked long distance relationship, let alone getting married to an African. Do you get me? So, because she was creating that, it gave me the opportunity to discover things about me that I was able to also bring into the relationship that was also making her grow whilst I also was growing in it. So, all those things I'm sharing with you now, they're just part of the things that make the long distance relationship work. Then the next thing is she shares even her deepest secret with me. At first, I withheld mine. Not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. If I sit here and tell you, oh no, we just did, I am going to be lying to you. So she shared even the deepest secret with me, and I was able to share some of mine as we move further with the relationship. You know, So because of that, we developed mutual trust for each other. How many things have I mentioned now? Four or five. We developed mutual trust. Now, moving to the next thing. After we developed mutual trust for each other, was that it? Or everything I've said now looks like simple? Everything I've said now looks easy. Everything I've said now looks rosy and clean, like we never had issues. But that is a lie. We had disagreements. We had quarrels. We had fights. Not about being fight. I'm not talking about physical fight. Like we talked. I got mad. I cut the call. I switched off my phone. That's me. She got mad, cut the call, switched off. In fact, blocked me for like 24 hours or less than that. You feel me? But one thing is, we were open with each other, which takes us back to mutual trust. But we were open. So mutual trust is one. The next thing is that we were open with each other. I didn't hide who I was. She didn't hide who she was. So most relationships don't work out because people pretend to be who they are not. So because whenever you pretend to be who you are not, you're always gonna fall short. I let her know. Look, with me, you're not gonna play that card. If you play that card with me, hey, this is who I am, and I don't care. Feel me? We were open about our emotions. I made her understand, like, I'm from Africa, and there's certain, things that I would not take. She also let me know that, hey, I'm from America. There are certain things that I would not take. We didn't like it. And we didn't just settle it like, oh, I get you. I get you. It's okay. I get you. You, what's up? Let's cool it. It's okay. No, we disagreed. We quarreled. I probably said some nasty stuff, and she said a lot of nasty stuff. I'm not gonna lie. You feel me? But one thing we had again was that we value our relationships more than our emotions. Am I making sense? I'm using my own personal story to give you an idea, not to put I not to tell you how to run yours. No, to give you an idea of what a true relationship is supposed to be like. Even if it's a long distance relationship, it can work. Now, apart from being able to apart from being able to, like, disagree to agree on something, we also give ourselves chance to learn. Now, this part is one of the biggest shift in my life. Now, in America, probably the black community more, they come off like they come off like aggressive women. You know, when you see them, like, they appear like aggressive. You feel me? They're not easily intimidated. Like, if they see you trying to step, man, they're gonna step, like, you feel me, like they don't play. You feel me? So when they come to you and be like, when you be like, hey, I want you to sit down there, they're not gonna just sit down like an African woman. I'm not saying African women are bad, but I'm just saying they're not just gonna sit down there and look at, I'm gonna sit. No. Why? They're gonna ask you, why do you want me to sit? I don't want to sit. Why do I have to sit? Why can't you be the one to sit? And now you see that now. That's a huge shift in everything that you've been raised to believe. So if I'm to look at it generally, I don't think there's any man that loves to be challenged by a woman. I thought it was just enough. I've seen that generally, no man, only maybe 3%. Most of them don't like to be challenged. That's why most of them are not married. That's why most of them think women are just not, they're no good. You feel me? But nobody ever tells you that women are not puppets, which means they have a mind of their own as well. You have to respect that. I'm moving too fast. I'm moving too fast. So let me go back again to what I just said. Giving ourselves space to learn. Now, I had to share things about my culture that I'm holding on to that I'm not gonna throw away. You feel me? That's the respect thingy. You gotta come to me with respect for sure. I don't care where you was born. I don't care what you was taught. But if we gotta make this work, this are my standard. And she also told me, hey, I don't care about none of that. This is where I come from. And if you're not abiding by this and this, we're not gonna work. You feel me? We didn't really say to each other like that, but I just when we argue points like that. And I started seeing myself making adjustments. Why she too was making adjustments. For her, it was much harder. For me, it was also hard, but based off on experience, you know what I'm saying? I look, you would just pick up all those things that you've written down and see the ones that I feel like these ones doesn't really matter. I can strike this one out. You see this one here? I don't care. You gotta abide. Like when you check the rules and regulation you set in your heart, you find out that there are some that you can let go. You let go. The ones you can't let go, hold on to it. Then we come together and form a mutual understanding around it. So when we're able to do all of those things, we also give each other a room to play. When I mean play, we are not always too serious about things. Sometimes we just talk crap and laugh till today. So, with all those things I've mentioned so far, have you picked a lot of things so far? What have you gained from what I just shared? There's a lot of things I also want to share, but I said that this video is going too far. I don't want it to get to like 1 hour. No, 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 no. So I'm gonna just stop here for now. I'm gonna share all the things and also share. I've shared my own life experience to let you know. I use my own story to point. I bring out the point so you can see that long distance relationship can actually work if you all are able to put these things together. Now, before I go, what are the things that will not make the long distance relationship work? Is a lot, but the number one thing is lack of commitment from both parties. If you're the only one who's committed and your partner isn't, it's not going to work. If you're the only one doing the loving or your partner is not giving reciprocating, it's not going to work. If y'all cannot come together and discuss things that y'all don't like and the ones that y'all like and see how y'all can come together and, you know, fix things when it's bad and leave things when it's like good. Nobody say when it's not broken, don't fix it. When things are okay, you leave it that way, at least until there's a reason to what fix it. It's not gonna work. You feel me? If you are out there not respecting each other, just going about doing some crazy stuff, it's not gonna work. Everybody must learn to treat their relationship exactly the way they ought to see it. For example, you know what you love to see in your man, and your man knows what he wants to see in this woman, for example. So both of you should come together and treat that thing. So if you're with somebody who doesn't entertain communication talks and everything, it's a clear sign the person does not value you. People make time for what they love. There's nobody has nobody on earth that doesn't have time. If you love somebody, no matter how busy your schedule is, you will create time. But if you don't love someone or you don't value them, why even waste their time? Don't. Just let them go. Don't be selfish. Oh, I just want to get in there. That's what most men just think. Or, oh, I just want to get his money. That's what most women think. Life ain't all about that. You can make your own money. Remember that. You can surely make your own money. And you can surely get in there with the woman of your dreams. So why waste your time? You feel me? all that being said, people say enough said, enough said. You know what I'm saying? I just want to wish y'all all the best. Remember, without all those things I've mentioned, most most of your relationships will not even work. Not just long distance relationship. You feel me? And then after you must have done all of that, remember, like I said in the beginning, there's no manual that will give you exactly what you're looking for to run your relationship because every relationship is different. So for you to be able to run your long distance relationship successfully, you as the person, you as the partner must be ready to figure out what you like. Thank you. God bless you. Until next time.